Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Black Panther Wakanda Forever Attuma Build-A-Figure Wave Okoye. And this figure is pretty good. I was so excited for this figure, and I'm not disappointed by it. I'm going to be real honest. I'm not too disappointed by it, but I am a little disappointed by it because... And the only reason I actually am disappointed a little bit is because Namor and Attuma and Nakia and the Black Panther, the comic book Black Panther, those are the only ones that I have so far. Those figures are great. This figure is great. She has great articulation. She has great detail, but they really skimped out on the paint in a lot of places. Like, I know it looks like a lot, and to be fair, it is a lot. Like, I'm not trying to say that they completely skimped out or anything like that, but there's just a lot of detail in some places, and then a lot of other places it's very plain, and it looks like they just kind of half-assed it to a degree. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get into what she comes with. So obviously, of course, she comes with a piece for Attuma. I couldn't tell you which one it is because, as I said in the Black Panther video, I already put most of him together so far. But I think she may have come with the head. I think that sounds right. I think she came with the head for him. But she comes with that, obviously. She doesn't come with any alternate hands or anything, but she does come with these weapons. These weapons aren't bad. They were warped in the package, but, you know, that's all right. It's fine. But what pisses me off the most about these weapons is the lack of detail on these weapons. Because this one's fine. Like, they didn't have to put detail on this one. Like okay, I get it. It doesn't necessarily have to have that much detail because she's just going to hold it and all that and everything. And casting it in the silver is fine. But when we've gotten this in the past, the hilt was painted black. And same for her staff, spear thing. Because this is just cast in this gray, silver, swirly-twirly plastic. But the one that came with the build figure, I believe, which I wish I could find that because that would make this figure look so much better. But we'll get to something else that makes this figure look amazing. This it looks cheap, honestly. Like, it takes away from how good the figure looks because the figure does look really good. So without further ado, let's get into the detail of Okoye. No, I'm just playing. But, I mean, look at the head sculpt on this. I think this may be the same head sculpt because they really just kind of nailed it. She looks beautiful. It looks amazing. She's got her head tattoos or markings. I'm not quite sure whether they are tattoos or markings. I would assume they're tattoos. But they look phenomenal. They're printed on very well. Same with her eyes. This might be the actual best printing that we've gotten on a figure in quite a while because they actually look like eyes. Like, they actually look like they're on a face. They don't look almost kind of sunk in or like digitally printed. They look good. She looks phenomenal. I love it. But, you know, you can see like all the detail that she has on her mid-torso and all that stuff and on this like front of the tunic. But then you come right here and these aren't painted, like her tassel type thing. These aren't painted. The gold accents that's supposed to be on her arms and her chest and stuff like that, there's none of that in there. And it's kind of a bummer because they put all that detail into the center part, but then didn't do anything up top here. Like, if the arms didn't have it, that would be fine. Like, if all the red parts didn't have it, that would be okay. But it's the fact that it's such a deep contrast from the mid-torso and the tunic to this. It doesn't look that great. This is actually a floating piece, so technically you could include this as an accessory if you wanted, her necklace. But she looks good. I like the gold that they chose, too. It actually looks like gold. I mean, of course, it's not, you know, it doesn't look gold, but it looks cast in gold, and it looks fine. I think it's passable. It's pretty good. It's not terrible by any means. I like this figure, you know. I do. I'm very happy to have this and not in a Build-A-Figure form, which is good because I never actually finished building that one. I just gave her one of Elektra's legs to actually finish her. But I like this. It's good. She has the, I can't remember what they are. I think they're like the communication beads. It's been a while since I've seen the first Black Panther. I need to go back and watch that. But she has like the beads, which these are not separate on her, but they are on Nakia. I'm not quite sure why that is. And then she obviously has her like tunic skirt piece thing back here, which actually has really nice detailing on it. I didn't realize that, but it actually looks like maybe a leather or something. Oh, it even has detail down at the bottom here. Nice. That's actually some really solid detailing. I like that. Her boots are leather as well. And I almost thought she had purple detailing on it, but it's my light bouncing off. She's got the detail on her legs as well. If I move this stuff out of the way, you can see that better. Looks good. All that, her shoulder pads are rubbery, so you can't get them out of the way, which, speaking of, let's get into the articulation. Her head can go up that far. Well, here, it can go up that far. Can you focus? Thank you. That far, down, that far. It does run into, oh wait, no, there we go. Go all the way down. Awesome. Tilt a little bit, rotate. Shoulders go out that far, but it does clash into that, and then it runs up and all that stuff. So just be careful. You don't want to have it be stuck like that, or I don't think it'll break, but, you know, just, of course, be careful always. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that go up all the way with ease. Unfortunately, both of her hands are back and forth hinges. They're not up and down, so whenever she's holding her weapons, they can't be, like, naturally kind of held down, which is a bummer, but that's okay. As for her torso, it can go that far forward, that far back, to the side, rotate. She has pretty good range, I'm going to be honest. I've gotten over some pretty fun poses. So her legs can go out that far. They start to jut out a little bit forward because of the skirt piece, but pretty good. You can still get her to kick forward and all that stuff. It starts to come down a little bit, but you can, like I said, you can get her into some poses. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees that go up that far. She has no boots or anything like that, but her feet can go out or down all the way, which is awesome. Up pretty much all the way. And then, of course, ankle pivot. But before we get into some size comparisons, I wanted to show you, because it's actually, I believe, in the thumbnail, but this is the Mezco Wonder Woman, the like Rebirth style looking one, her spear. And I think this Okoye looks phenomenal with it. It fits into her hand so well, too. Like, you just literally, you know, move her hand, apply it through. Oh, it's a little loose there. That's okay. But, I mean, look at, I think that looks far better than the other one. I mean, I know it's not accurate to what she has, but if you don't have the BAF one and you have this Wonder Woman one, because most of us, I feel like, will pose Wonder Woman either with her arms crossed and like the bullet ricochets, or, you know, with her sword or lasso or whatever. I feel like the spear is one of the last things that you might pose her with, but I think this looks beautiful with Okoye. And now on to some size comparisons. Here she is next to the Marvel Legends Valkyrie and Mighty Thor from the, I almost said Ragnarok, from the Love and Thunder wave. And I think this looks really good. I'm not quite sure the height differences and all that, but I know, you know, obviously Valkyrie's supposed to be Asgardian, so it makes sense that she'd be a little taller. But I love this. I think these three look freaking phenomenal together. And I mean, as you saw in the thumbnail, I kind of did like an A-Force thing. I really want She-Hulk. I don't know why we haven't gotten that freaking wave yet. Like, obviously got Moon Knight overseas, but like, goddamn, where's the rest of them? I need She-Hulk. Here she is next to the Captain Marvel that I repainted her hands, and then my custom Black Widow from the Black Widow movie with a different head, you know, repainted Infinity War head. I think this looks good as well. I think that she's like roughly in between the two heights for them, so I think it looks good. Unfortunately, I don't have the Mafex or Mezco Black Panther, which I really actually wanted both of those, and I've missed out, I think, on both of them. The Mezco one might still be available, actually. I may have to go look after this review. Anyway, but here she is next to the Mafex Captain America from Endgame, and then the Mezco Netflix Daredevil, and I think this looks good. If you wanted to put her with your Mafex or your Mezco, I think that she would look really good with the both of them. And then for her fellow wavemates of who I have so far, here she is next to Namor and Nakia, and I think this looks really good too. I'm not quite sure how tall Namor is supposed to be. We'll talk about him during the review. Same with Nakia or Nakia. Is it Nakia or Nakia? I can't remember either. I really need to go back and watch Black Panther. It's been too long. I need to watch it again. But I'm so excited for this movie. It looks so good. And that trailer that just dropped, ooh, that's so amazing. Shuri looks awesome. I can't wait for them to show off that figure. Riri, that design for that suit, I wasn't too keen on it, but I feel like if I see it in person, I'm going to be like, ooh, that looks pretty good. I may have to... Oh, wait, I can't see it in person because the plastic... There is no plastic on the front of the boxes. And then, of course, as always, last but not least, here she is next to the Marvel Legends Retro Captain America and the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. There we go. I think this looks good, too. If you wanted to have, you know, have him run around, or have her run around with your comic book Black Panther as, you know, the comic book versions of the Dora Milaje, I think you could do that. Maybe. I'm not sure. It kind of, you know, of course, it always all depends on you. But overall, I really think she's so fun. I'm going to just pose and all that stuff. I think I'm going to try this. I'm going to start posing at the end whenever I talk and give my final thoughts. But she's got really good range. I think that the only detriment of this figure to me really is just that I wish she had a little bit more detail in terms of paint. But, I mean, like, we shouldn't have to do it ourselves, but I can easily do it myself. Like, I took that Makari from Eternals because I love Lauren Ridloff in Walking Dead, which, oh, that's someone I should have posed her with. Oh, man, I didn't even think about that. We could have gotten our Walking Dead on. Anyway, but, like, you know, just a quick little pose like this, like she's diving into battle, or you can get her into a nice two-handed pose. But I like this figure. I do, and I will probably try to give her some more gold accents and details throughout her suit just to make her pop a little bit more, because I love Okoye. She's such a great character. And, you know, I love Denai Guerrera, obviously, as a huge Walking Dead fan. But you can get her into a two-handed pose with ease, like she's getting ready to strike down on somebody. So that's really awesome if this would focus. But it looks great. I love this figure. I think that you'll like it. Really, the only thing, like I said, it's the only thing that I can knock it for is that I wish it had more detail. And for the price that we've started to pay for Marvel Legends, I think that we deserve to get more detail. But, you know, hey, for now, I'll just take it in double jointed, pinless. Like that's enough for me, I guess, for now. I mean, that's not me trying to make excuses, but if we had to pick better paint versus double joints and stuff like that, I'd rather have articulation, to be honest, because I can always add more paint. Can't really add more articulation. Sometimes you can, but not always. But yeah, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you all in the next one. See you.